Gonna continue reading Proverbs for today. So today's the 24th. So normally I was reading a Proverbs a day, fell off for a little bit, back on it. Here we go. Gonna read Proverbs chapter 24. Just read 23, and before that read chapter 22, where it began a small sub-series inside of Proverbs, the sayings of the wise. So just a quick recap of what I've gathered is that it's really kind of just a quick and blunt, condensed version of Proverbs within Proverbs. So it's pretty interesting. There's 31 Proverbs, one for every day of the month if you have a normal 31-day calendar. And then inside of Proverbs, starting at chapter 22, 23, and then I think it goes to 24 and ends. Yep, it ends here in chapter 24, and then begins another little interesting subcategory. So I'll get going on this, and then we'll get talk about the next part when we get started. Thanks to the wifey for leaving this out. Alright, Proverbs chapter 24. So again, this is a continuing of a sub-series inside of Proverbs. So this is, and that's 30 wise sayings, something like that. So this is saying number 20. Do not envy the wicked, do not desire their company, for their hearts plot violence, and their lips talk about making trouble. Saying 21. By wisdom a house is built, and through understanding it is established. Through the knowledge its rooms are filled. Through knowledge its rooms are filled with rare and beautiful treasures. Talking about building a house through wisdom. Saying 22. The wise prevail through great power, and those who have knowledge muster their strength. Surely you need guidance to wage war, and victory is won through many advisors. Saying 23. Wisdom is too high for fools. Wisdom is too high for fools. In the assembly at the gate they must not open their mouths. Saying 24. Whoever plots evil will be known as a schemer. The schemes of folly are sin, and people detest a mocker. Saying 25. If you falter in a time of trouble, how small is your strength? Rescue those being led away to death. Hold back those staggering toward slaughter. If you say, but we knew nothing about this, does not he who weighs the heart perceive it? Does not he who guards your life know it? Will he not repay everyone according to what they have done? Saying 26. Eat honey, my son, for it is good. Honey from the comb is sweet to your taste. Know also that wisdom is like honey for you. Know also that wisdom is like honey for you. If you find it, there is a future of hope. If you find it, there is a future hope for you, and your hope will not be cut off. If you find it, there is a future hope for you, and your hope will not be cut off. Find knowledge, friends. Find knowledge. If you're interested in that, Proverbs 1 through 4, I believe. We got videos for that if you go look. Saying 21. Do not lurk like a thief near the house of the righteous. Do not plunder their dwelling place. For though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again. But the wicked stumble when calamity strikes. If only people really knew that. For though the righteous fall 7 times, 7 times, they rise again and again and again. But the wicked, they'll stumble when a calamity strikes. A calamity, just like, come on, imagine something stupid, petty, and embarrassing. If you're wicked, you're done for. Saying 28. Do not gloat when your enemy falls. When they stumble, do not let your heart rejoice. For the Lord will see and disapprove, and turn his wrath away from them. Don't be haughty. Just remember to be humble. That's how I see that one. Saying 29. Do not fret because of evildoers, or be envious of the wicked. For the evildoer has no future hope, and the lamp of the wicked will be snuffed out. Saying 30. Fear the Lord and the King, my son, and do not join with rebellious officials. For those two will send sudden destruction on them, and who knows what calamities they can bring. It's interesting. There is a hierarchy. There is a hierarchy to our belief, even us, and then internally, wherever you are with your spiritual path. Further sayings of the wise. So this finishes up Proverbs chapter 24, and then that'll be the end for me today. I'll do a quick sketch, and then I do gotta say I gotta end it. The family needs me back home, so I gotta go do some daddy stuff. And then later this evening, if I can, I do plan to get back to the practice of doing the sketch. So I'll put some sketches up. Further sayings of the wise. Proverbs chapter 24. This is near the end of it. Further sayings of the wise. Just finished 30 sayings of the wise. Now here's like another little sub. These also are sayings of the wise. To show partiality in judging is not good. Whoever says to the guilty, you are innocent, will be cursed by peoples and denounced by nations. But it will go well with those who convict the guilty, and rich blessing will come on them. An honest answer is like a kiss on the lips. That's it. Put your outdoor work in order and get your fields ready. After that, build your house. Do not testify against your neighbor without cause. Would you use your lips to mislead? Do not say, I'll do to them as they have done to me. I'll pay them back for what they did. I went past the field of a sluggard, past the vineyard of someone who has no sense. Thorns had come up everywhere. The ground was covered with weeds, and the stone wall was in ruins. I applied my heart to what I observed, and learned a lesson from what I saw. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come on you like a thief, and scarcity like an armed man. Warnings upon warnings. Be wise, seek wisdom, seek knowledge, seek understanding. All right. Honestly, for right now, I'm going to write honey as just a recap for Proverbs chapter 24, really. But honestly, that could speak to, and it does. I'll end on this. I'll rant a little bit on this. Yeah, so like the honey reference there and finding knowledge or wisdom is like really speaking to, is also making a reference to like the scriptures and stuff. So like it is within a Hebrew culture to Jewish culture to like put honey on the scripture, and then in a sense encourage the eating of the scripture, to consume the wisdom and the knowledge that's within the scriptures. So like that's really like the main goal and purpose behind beginning to read Proverbs like this anyways, is to share wisdom and knowledge like this open and freely, as poorly as I may do it. And then also just to kind of like build upon that with like little reflection piece that's meant to encourage people to do something of their own as well, because science shows, it supports that the more learning paths that we make and connect, the more we remember and really commit that to not only like our memory but who we are. So if it's in you or it's something you want to do, write it down, write some of it, read it, reflect on it, and write about it. Read it, write it, reflect, read it, reflect, write, something like that. If you're still sticking around, I'm just going to do a quick sketch of the word honey. Perfect, but I try to do my best and try to live up to what I was just speaking about too. Ultimately living up to who we are, who we're called to be, what you believe in. And as sad as it may seem, sometimes like if people are making poor choices, you gotta also pray that they learn quickly from those poor choices, and that means that they gotta have poor choices. So gotta burn a fire out sometimes. So learn to be good, learn to be wise. A time and a place. The word also speaks to that too. So everybody's learning. Everybody's learning at different times. Yeah, that turned out really clean. I guess that's just what happens sometimes when you practice. Let's see if we can make something with some cool color real quick. Right now I'm just kind of like changing the colors. Here we go. If anyone's there, that's what I wrote. Honey. Just a quick little reminder that the scripture is a source of sweet wisdom and knowledge. Something that is pleasant to be gained. Alright. Well, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining. Thanks for following along. I hope that God got something of worth from it, something sweet. Later.